Now let's bring in former Queensland Premier Campbell Newman, knows a fair bit about campaigning. Anthony Albanese has swooped into Peter Dutton's electorate this morning, took the media bus with him. Exit polling shows that Peter Dutton is facing a battle, but he always faces a battle in that seat. It's been marginal forever. Campbell, great to see you. Cheeky of the PM, I would have thought, to turn up in Dickson this morning.
Well, there's a bit of cheek about it, Steve, but it's also a tactic, and the tactic is to sow the seeds of uncertainties in voters' minds across the nation about whether they should try and vote Peter Dutton's way. Because what they're doing is they're trying to say, hey, this guy could lose. Now, I've had the same thing done to me when I was running as the Leader of the Opposition outside Parliament back in 2011-12, and the Labor Party sowed with the mainstream media this line constantly. Well, what happens? Who becomes Premier if Newman? If the LNP win, but Newman doesn't win Ashgrove. So it's a technique. It's a tactic, and it is designed to hurt the LNP, not just in Dickson, but nationally. I think Peter Dutton has seen off pretty significant challenges in the past, and if you asked me to make a call here, I'd say, well, he'll see this off as well this time. But certainly they've had a red-hot go out there in his electorate.
The voters of Australia smart enough to not fall for the untruths that they keep getting pushed at them, like if the coalition wins, they'll trash Medicare and they'll shut down these, critical care clinics that the Labor Party's opened. I mean, none of that's going to happen. How do they get away with saying it?
Well, sadly, I think it does work, and that's why the Labor Party do it. And the Labor Party combine those sorts of outright lies with personal degradation of Peter Dutton. They did it to Tony Abbott as well, and frankly, they did it to me here in Queensland. It's the old thing: you keep repeating the lie, and the lie becomes truth. And they've tried deliberately to paint Peter Dutton as being some awful human being, and of course he's not. So just reflecting on what David Gazzard was saying before, the trouble is with the coalition is that they take this sucker punch stuff all the time, and they really need to rev it up and take the gloves off in future campaigns and stop playing by the Marquess of Queensberry rules. I have this terrible image. It's if you want, it's like Peter Dutton's in a back alley in Fortitude Valley being beaten up by a bunch of thugs who have got him on the ground and they're putting the boot in, and he won't reach for the broken bottle in the gutter and come back at 5 or 6 of them hoeing into him. I don't know if that imagery works for you, Steve, but that's the way. Until the last week, they've really had the proverbial kicked out of them.
Yeah, it does work, that image. I mean, maybe Peter Dutton needs to be a little more like Nigel Farage from the Reform Party in the UK. Now, the reason I bring him up, he's won a major by-election to take what was a really safe Labor seat, a place called Runcorn and Helsby. They've only won by 6 votes. The by-election saw a 17% swing toward reform against the government. Here's Nigel Farage talking about that when he won.
Winning's obviously fantastic, but just think about the swing. Think about the change. This is heartland Labour Party. Their vote has collapsed, and much of it's come to us. And that does away with the sort of media narrative that somehow it's just us versus the Conservatives. It's not. This is a whole different politics.
Campbell, I don't want to join in, what's becoming a little bit of a pile-on on Peter Dutton before we even have the result, but did he need to be a bit more of a conviction politician through this 5-week campaign than what he's been?
Well, yes, but not just Peter. It's the whole of the coalition team. And just going back to what I was saying before, this is a separate issue. Before I was referring about the failure to come back hard against Labor's negativity and have head kickers out there going after Labor front benches and the PM. In terms of the vernacular of a street fight. But what Farage has done is been absolutely crystal clear about what he stands for and what he's against. And back at Australia Day this year, Peter Dutton had done that reasonably well, but it's evaporated during the course of the campaign. And I've said it on your show in the last few weeks, the failure to take a strong stand on various totemic issues which are important to Conservatives has seen them bleed votes. Their primary, on the most recent news poll I was having a good look at, has seen their primary go down by about, I think it was about 8%. And where has it gone? Well, 6% of it's gone to the One Nation Party and others. So it's bled there. The Labor Party only picked up an extra 2% on primary. This is the thing. I'm in the Libertarian Party, and parties like mine and the One Nation Party have been the beneficiaries of a failure from the Liberal National Party coalition to stand up for Liberal Party values. When have they talked about private enterprise and small business? Why do they have to say that the nuclear plan, which was courageous, was going to be funded by the taxpayers? What about the private sector? All they had to do was say they'd repeal the ban. These are just a few examples. And the Me Too stuff where, okay, well, we'll spend more on Medicare or we'll spend more on that. Look, I'm not just saying it tonight. But I have been saying it.
No, you've been saying it for a couple of weeks. You have been saying it.
So, and so hopefully, as David Gazzard says, though, hopefully those preferences will come back and assist the two-party preferred. I'm not banking on it, but hopefully that is what happens. And we see that tomorrow night.